recognize the presence of the Honorable Minister of Labour, Honorable Engineer Vitumbiko Mumba. Let me also recognize the presence of the Minister of Education, Higher Education that is, Honorable Dr. Jessica Bwira. Let me recognize the presence of our esteemed Principal Secretaries. Others prefer being called permanent secretaries. I do not know if there is another way of putting it, but I'm used to those two. Directors, Commissioner for Labor, our colleagues from the media, ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you to the Central Office of Information under the Ministry of Information, charged with the mandate to provide information to the country. And as we always do, we do bring all those that do feed us with information. Sometimes we do bring them to face the public through our friends, the media, so we're being watched at home, and others are right in here to fulfill that mandate of providing information to the nation. Tonight, we are privileged to have the Minister of Labor and officials from the Ministry of Labor to present to us, to the nation through us rather, matters relating to labor as it pertains in the country. I do believe that you have already said your prayers, so my assumption is that this meeting is already blessed. In case you did not, but I pronounce blessings upon you and blessings upon this meeting. Without wasting much of time, we're already behind. Honorable Minister of Labor, allow me to yield the floor to you after he has done his presentation, some of which will be beamed on the screen. Then our colleagues from the media will be given the opportunity to ask questions. Honorable Minister of Labor, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Minister of Information and Digitization, Honorable Moses, I didn't know you are Kalonga Shower. Kalonga Shower, okay, first time. So the case for that. Honorable Moses Kunkuyu, and then the Secretary for Information, Mr. Bodwin Chiamwaka, the Secretary for Labor, Madam Chunano Musa, and also the ED for Teveta and the board chairperson, Mr. Erwin Sichiola, and also the Mr. Tembo, the board chairman for Teveta, the president for Malawi Congress and Trade Union, Mr. Kunchenga, also representative from the Employers Consultative Association Committee of Malawi, and all senior officials from government and ministry, distinguished members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. Firstly, let me welcome you to this press briefing, which has been called with the aim of informing the nation about recent developments on employment and labor matters, particularly on labor inspections to promote labor rights in the country to achieve inclusive growth and decent work for all. I will also provide an update on human capital development, which is an enabler under Malawi 2063 in relation to technical and vocational education and training. I'll also touch on Malawi's obligations and active participation at international level, as well as milestones this far achieved. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and members of the press, as I've said before, the mandate of my ministry is derived from the labor laws and regulations and other policies, including the following. First, the Labor Relations Act that promotes sound labor relations through protection and promotion of freedom of association, the encouragement of effective collective bargaining and the promotion of orderly and expeditious dispute settlement conducive to social justice and economic development. Number two, the Employment Act, which establishes, reinforces, and regulates minimum standards of employment with the purpose of ensuring equity necessary for enhancing industrial peace, economic growth, and social justice. The third one, the Occupational Safety, Health, and Welfare Act. The fourth one, the Workers' Compensation Act. And then the fifth one, the Pensions Act 2023, which provides for placing on pension all deserving employees specified by the Act. Enforcement by the Ministry is done through labor inspections. These laws empower my ministry to check compliance on a number of issues, including contracts of employment. The ministry can inspect contracts of employment for individuals, working hours, minimum wage, safety and health standards, and employee rights. Where there is imminent risk of serious personal injury, the law allows issuance of a prohibition notice to suspend activities until matters relating to the issuance of the stop order have been remedied. Now, I want to clarify this. A prohibition notice does not mean closure of a company, but rather closure, suspension of operations for a specified period of time. And Twambira Madiasika company, no, we have never closed any company, but we suspended operations of some companies until they've rectified the things that we found to be imminent danger to the employees. But depending on the gravity of the violations, legal action can be taken against those violations. Others can even be arrested if need be. The government of Malawi does recognize and appreciate the important role employers play in national development by providing access to goods and services and employment opportunities for our population. Employers play a vital role in promoting decent work and ensuring that workers' rights are protected, as enshrined in the International Labour Organization's multilateral framework. Labor is one of the important factors in production that must be nurtured to effectively sustain business growth and national development. It is a well-known fact that a workforce that feels secure, valued, protected, and empowered will enhance productivity of business and growth. While we celebrate the contributions of our employers who have exemplified their commitment to national development, employers should aim to strike a right balance between maintaining profitable business and upholding ethos of decent work, respecting workers' well-being. We therefore need to see workplace environments that are promoting business growth, while at the same time ensuring our workers' rights and livelihoods are protected, not otherwise. Malawi government is a member of ILO Governing Board, the Executive Council supervising application of international labor standards. Government is therefore working within the framework of the ILO's Declaration on Fundamental Principles and Rights at Work, 1998, and the Decent Work Agenda. These international standards provide us with comprehensive framework for promoting decent work, including respect for workers' rights, fair treatment, and safe working conditions. Decent work is not merely about having a job. It calls for provision of fair wages, fair, safe working conditions, access to social protection, ensuring gender equality, and respect for fundamental principles and rights at work backed by social dialogue. This will only be practical with full and active participation and contribution of all stakeholders. As government, we are committed to ensuring an inclusive labor market, an atmosphere where social dialogue is an integral part of our policy making. I'm happy today to report that in the spirit of tripartism, there is continuous engagement among social partners, and we are working together to strengthen our social dialogue structures. For example, the Tripartite Labor Advisory Council. This is comprised by government, trade unions, as well as employers. This government understands that social dialogue is a pillar towards promoting decent employment, which is key to sustainable and inclusive development. I acknowledge ECAM and MCTU for tirelessly working with government in promoting decent work in Malawi by creating a platform for employers and workers to engage on employment and labor matters. Your services are critical in taking our national development forward. Together, let us continue advancing the cause for decent work and social justice. As part of my ministry's commitment to safeguarding workers' rights and ensuring that every Malawian worker enjoys conducive working environment, I have personally participated in a number of announced inspections of workplaces. There is a reason why I took that personal initiative. We have so far visited CPFs, Topmax, Malata, NT Plastics, and several other companies. In Kadabe, we visited Kawala's ST Estate. In Mzuzu, Ana Contendo Bekale, Baker's Pride in Mzuzu. Again, Lotus Resources in Kairekera, that's Kairekera Uranium Mine in Karonga. Makandi Tea Estate in Cholo, Konfozi. Munipuffs in Blantyre. Mapeto David Whitehead and Sons in Blantyre. During these inspections, we uncovered alarming violations of the Occupational Safety, Health and Welfare Act, as well as serious breaches of workers' rights. These findings are direct are a direct violation of the standards we have set to ensure that every worker in Malawi is treated with dignity, respect, and fairness. The violations that we have commonly discovered in the workplaces include, but we are not limited to, the following. I will ask my team to just put some slides of some pictures that footage we got from our labor inspections. Nelly, where are you? And Andrew, just need some pictures. Are we able to? Just some pictures and footage. Now, you find that workers like those don't have PPE. This is at a tier state. Now you hear people saying that no, in our agreements we're not supposed to provide PPE for workers in tier states. I'm like, who told you that? Because the law is very clear that workers, whether at farms or at factory, they are supposed to be given the relevant protective clothing. For farms, we prefer gumboots. For tea pluckers, we prefer aprons, as well as gloves. You see, instead of being given gumboots, they can't be given anything. They're using their own shoes, others buy their own gumboots. And yet, at the end of the day, when they want to buy PPE, some estates we are saying, PPE from their salary. Like one estate, they say, we deduct 10,000 kwacha from your salary if we are giving you an apron, which is just too much on the people. So we have discovered unsafe working conditions whereby there's no PPE, no safety measures, poor ventilation, like in a factory sometimes, like where we went in your area, the laborers are locked up from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. with one toilet. And you find these are laborers about 50 or 60 in one warehouse. Laborers are not supposed, or workers are not supposed to be locked up no matter what, because in case there is fire or there's something else, they will be harmed. Just on Thursday, today's what? Today's Monday. On Thursday, we na go library machine ambulanzanja nkono totally cut, and had to inform the labor commissioner to follow up with the people, and the people at library had to call us for the company to intervene, which means that the employers don't care about the safety and well-being of the laborers. So we had to get a call from LIPRI, and the labor commission had to call the regional labor officer to go and make sure that this person gets the right treatment. We have got many people in many industrial areas, ena rudi Zala, ena kupora kumene, ena nabuda kwa office, wagu CP fees are going there and Odobanova for 2 years, but no assistance. These are the things we have uncovered as the part of unsafe working conditions. Just today, we got a letter from one of the government department. The ED shouts at people, and the chief financial officer, Kurira Paganam office. Then the other employees, my appraisal. The ED is 4 steps away. The juniors are praised by their superiors. They give them the grading because the ED does not want them. He changes the scores just because he doesn't like them. And the people write and question, what did Febanji? My grades to our supervisor gave us so much grades. Why have they been reduced or no, their ED? And people are suffering in silence, and this is a government institution. And the PS and I will take it head on, because we can't let people suffer in silence. And these people wrote letters and are complaining to us. And these people are top officers, the director of finance, in a government institution. Kurira office need to, because the ED was shouting at her. We have got a case now. Someone reported to us, another company, being shouted at by a boss, being insulted because she had BP and sugar. Zinangogwera BP and sugar. She collapsed and died on spot. The case is in court now. And this is happening. So we're uncovering unsafe working conditions. It's real, and many people are suffering in silence. And the Chakwera government will not let that continue. We will make that will come to an end. And that's why we're doing these high-level inspections. Then we're talking of exploitation and underpayment. We found cases whereby the minimum wage for laborers is 3,460 kwacha per day for 8 hours. But people are working 15 hours, they're getting paid 2,000 kwacha. 2,000 kwacha. Below the minimum pay wages. But again, several hours, more than almost double. We found that, and it's happening in many companies. Lack of social security benefits, placing workers on temporary employment ganyu for a long period. For instance, you find people in tea estates and other estates, they're saying that we give our employees 11 months contracts because our tea plucking is seasonal. Now, the question is, can you have, let's be sincere, I repeat, can you have 11-month season in a 12-month calendar? Does it make sense? Having 11 months season in a 12-month calendar, does it make sense? It's just a way of running away from putting these people on a permanent basis, because the law says when one has worked for 12 months, we can put permanent employment basis, could kind pension. So people have found a clever way of running away from that by giving people 11 months contract. A season is 3 months, 4 months maximum. A season cannot be more than 11 months. No. People should not insult our intelligence by doing what is not right. And they call themselves investors. Actually, they are exploiters. One lady from Reserve Bank of Malawi, she's the head of OSH, that side, had a research on this. And she interviewed 371 tea pluckers, and she found out that 89% of tea pluckers register musculoskeletal disorders. Because they pluck the pluck tea, which is heavy, for years and years. And those people, by the time they reach the age of 60, without pension, how would they earn a living? We have a case now. We have cases now about Antomenga Gwenchito Kumigodi, South Africa, in coal mines and whatever. Luckily enough, there's some progress being made. The air you inhale, the coal dust you inhale, it's after 10 or 15 years. You start to suffer. There's TB or what? Silicosis. Now you think 15 years ago. Now even these people plucking tea, you give them 11 months contract. But in the long run, you are deforming them. That's why we're saying no. This must come to a stop by all means. And sadly, when this lady presented her report in Blantyre, at that time at the report, she was warned never to make that presentation again. And this is someone from another country warning a Malawian not to present the findings anywhere else, and Woody will deal with you. This is happening in our country. And this is an educated lady, works for the Reserve Bank of Malawi, she's a manager there, when I called for her, and was Mumba I was told not to talk to anyone about this. It's your research. It's your thesis for master's degree. Make it public and what ziwe zimene kumati estates. No one should threaten you. And this is our country, independent as we are. Someone coming here, an investor saying, don't publish these results. We can't take that. We've also discovered failure to adhere to health standards. In several cases, companies fail to provide adequate hygiene and sanitation facilities, putting workers at risk of contracting diseases. Imagine we're in a boardroom, educated people with degrees, master's degrees and PhDs, telling us that Mumba, Zimbuzriko, Kusaiti, Mugazuona, Mapoho, Aliko, we get there, there's no toilet. Where's the toilet? Mumba Yalakwati and Tingosia Bempano, Emida Sabitego. China Gumuga, okay, Gumuga, let's go and see it. Yeah, Mumba Bepani. And this we saw on site, and these are people like you and us, exploiting Malawians. Okay, where's the boho? And Otunga ma zimun sinje kuda pikire amwe. I wish you had those footage from Kawala's estate, whereby we had the people carrying water. See this one, unsafe working condition. And wawandi kwanje wagu akuta malowa menalilimo kulowa nkatimo amavula trouser kutasonyeza ovani kulowa mene mulimo kumadunga jani. And this is happening in Malawi. And these people, they are paid 2,000 kwacha per siku, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. and I'm do 500 ya memo basiku, and then they go home 1.5. Yet already the 2,000 is below the 3.460 that is prescribed by government. And this is happening. Now, when we stop operations of such kind of companies, agudia imusika makampani mononga economy, nonsense. These are Malawians just like us. You find the owners of these companies, they are complaining that no, Mumba must stop what he's doing, is embarrassing us. Instead of being worried of being embarrassed, why can't you worry about the welfare and the pride of Malawians, of your laborers? People have got misplaced ambitions and priorities. Yes, if you don't care about the pride and welfare of your workers, we'll come after you and we'll embarrass you. No two ways about it. And with a clear conscience, no regrets. But people must worry about the welfare of their workers, the welfare of the environment, so their people are healthy and are productive. Chimene ansumadzi uchena kuti ukama kuenda pa factory where you are inhaling dust, can the cement, can whatever. Every year the law says once in a year the company must provide chemical and biological check-up. It's not a normal medical check-up, a clinical officer or doctor at check-up. It's a specialized kind of chemical and biological check-up. All the companies who are visited, they don't do that. None of them. None of them. Now, these people are inhaling cement, dust, they're inhaling whatever they're inhaling. Eventually, after 10 or so years, they will be sick. No one will be there for them, and you put them on annual basis. As a survivor, we discovered in the tea estates we had complaints, and this is true. We asked for 2 scales. You remember ILOC? Could you pass the mascara weed to own it, bange measure, mascara weed up. Agabanga measure, agabanga weigh 15 kilograms. Agudi amajosera 5 kilograms. Audiasaga. Zone as many zo. This is true. This is the capital. That was the John Jabana, Unea Gudi, Tikapanga weigh 15 kilograms, just 5 kilograms, yasaga. Yaka 30 kilograms, 10 kilograms, Joseph yasaga. Yaka 60 kilograms, 15 kilograms, Joseph, which saga weighs 15 kilograms, or 5 kilograms. I would saga is 5 kilograms. Just to overwork Malawians and make huge profits. And this is correct. That's what I said, oh, for this estate alone, Conforzi, we closed the whole estate. Not just one field, but the whole estate. Tinanya muna weight ya 25 kilograms, The person in 2 scales. Scale yamba kuyesa, the weight 25 kilograms, standard weight ya jamanya muna lift ya antoku jimu, ina kiamwaga, mapita ku jimu, ina kunkuyu, kodi ya kunkuyu pampa na nusu. So, it weighed 26.2 kilograms, like, okay? On another scale, it weighed how much? 5.5 kilograms. Don't you know 25 kilograms? You weigh it weighs 5.5 kilograms. And they say, no, and they don't meet Gwazoa or Basiku. Are we together? Then, one such managing director by the name of Sebastian Hobman writes a letter to the High Commissioner in London addressing to me the unfair acts by Labour Minister Mumba. You scare away investors, as I've said before. If investors are scared of our inspections, then let them not come to Malawi, because what are they running away from? These are straightforward issues. Come to Malawi, invest, follow our laws. Simple. You want us to be scared? Good, we're scaring investors because we want to break laws. The message must go clear to Mr. Sebastian Hobman. Kuti, it's not Minister of Labor that visited his estate, in the Minister of Trade. So he must address his anger to Minister of Trade, not Minister of Labor. It's not Minister of Labor that confiscated scales at his estate in Lugeri. It was Minister of Trade. Have we been to Lugeri that? We've never been there. But I'm like, no, this is colonialism. We can't go back to colonialism. A colonialism mentality, but not to come here and saying, no, you scare investors, what if we pull out and the like? Okay, that's our land in Cholo. Pull out, others will come and they'll invest and they'll follow our laws. There are other estates who are doing what is right and they want to do what is right. Even including the minimum wage, what if we want to meet the minimum wage, but that's too much, you know? We will not stop fighting for the rights of our workers just because someone is saying you are scaring investors. If investors are coming to Malawi, they are very welcome. But please, we have got laws in Malawi. We have got regulations, policies. Just stick to them. Many are doing that. Why not you? Now, muntu, estate nafike kwa nakapondeko, makulimba kalata, akopa jani. But when you look at the pile of complaints from his estate, is the worst of them all. It's the worst of them all in terms of labor violations. When we went to one company here in Lilongwe, one pharmacist called me. You did well to go to that institution. I've been wondering, of 10 people that I treat with depression, over 50% are from that institution. Agudi, out of 10 people that I treat for depression, over 50% are from that. Actually, I said about 8 out of 10 are from that institution. The effect of unsafe working environment. Last week I met with the Labour Commission and the PS with one Solomon in Kolimbo. He did this in his research, degree. He did a research on Njewa area, industrial area, and one of the things that he found out was that most youth. He was looking at the effect of unsafe conditions, working conditions on the youth. He found that most youth who are working in a safe environment, they indulge in drug abuse. Just kudi aiwale mavurani akunchito. The effects of unsafe working conditions. And women who work at night shifts, during night shifts, they end up dating some people at work for protection because some bosses abuse them sexually, work at blackout. And that's from the research which he did for his degree. And this is happening in our country. Our people are suffering. So in light of these violations, my ministry does not make difficult, but necessarily does not only make difficult, but necessary decisions in order to secure compliance with the law and safeguard the welfare of the workers. In most cases, we provided guidance for improvements, but in some cases, my ministry had no choice but to temporarily close the non-complying workplaces. We closed CP Feeds, Top Max Manhattan Malawi, NT Plastics, Field 19 at Kaola's Tea Estate Limited, Field 7A at Mpezu at Makande Estate, and the whole Comfort's Tea Estate, Hongsheng and Plastimax companies. The closures were in accordance with the provisions of Section 77 of the Occupational Safety and Health Welfare Act, which demand that employers should uphold the safety and well-being of their workers at all times. Whatever we did is within the law. Nobody should say we acted out of the law. No. My ministry issued clear guidelines for companies to follow in order to comply with the law, including ceasing all operations that pose imminent danger, ensuring that all workers are provided with proper PPE, improved cleanliness and safety of workplaces, provision of adequate and suitable sanitary conveniences for both males and female. And again, provision of potable drinking water, facilities where workers could prepare and consume their meals. And again, they should submit to the Ministry of Labor information on employment of expatriate workers to check compliance with the TEPs and the immigration laws. You know, just to mention, when you have an expatriate working in your company, the law says that expatriate unaliense, maximum number of years to work is 6 years, period. Okay? There has to be justification why that particular expatriate has to extend. Come also from day one, wamba kuila nchini expatriate uja, according to to understand that particular person. Could after 6 years, that person should what? Take over. But with expatriates here 10, 15 years, no understudy. And again, if you are bringing an expatriate, you must prove to the Ministry of Labor that you advertised in Malawi, you failed to find someone with those qualifications in the country. That prompted you to bring someone from outside. But we have found that that is not happening with many organizations. I think Malawi unogoka kwa boga, angotibu ya kuna kazi nuanga kwa Malawi kwa boga tiye kutaka accountant kuno. uzakhala engineer kuno. One company we found 11 engineers who called themselves engineers. When I asked for their papers, I'm an engineer as well, give me your papers, I always am a certificate, I'm a grade zone. Bring you a degree, my friend. Following there, with office, I know we are technicians. So, yesterday you were engineers, today you are technicians. Mufuna Bangeza Trump was, no, Kamala Harris yesterday was Indian, today she's black all of a sudden. We don't, you know, yesterday you are an engineer, today you are what? Today you are a technician. We cannot talk of creating jobs when the jobs we are creating are being taken by foreigners. We cannot talk of jobs being created by investors when the same investors, all their top management are foreigners. We can't do that. And one person said to me, no, we can't employ Malawians accountants, they are thieves. I'm like, we can't employ Malawian managers, they are thieves. I'm like, okay, you're talking to Malawian manager, am I a thief? No, I don't mean you, but general Malawians are thieves. I'm like, this is the attitude that people have, which is wrong, because they just don't find a justification for bringing in people from Southeast Asia to work in their companies, and not Malawians. Continue providing daily wages to all workers. The time we suspended operations, workers never lost their income. We said, good volunteer company, and until you finish correcting the things we have told you to correct. And indeed, wherever we have stopped work, the laborers are getting their dues until the companies have rectified their mistakes. And again, in most cases, we said formalize their employment from Ganyu to permanent basis. And again, pay wages and arrears, overtime arrears, like we Nanota, pay them for 12 months. 12 months, overtime zao and arrears zao. And again, they should report all workers' compensation cases for purposes of processing compensation for the injured workers. And again, every workplace must have a trade union. All workers must form unions. And again, we have stopped unlawful deductions. We went to a certain place, tourism levy, imakala ku invoice ya customer. Koma kudura kwa ma workers on the salary. It's happening. Tevet levy, IDs, asichora mulego, ID ndi apochi apyoka. Imagine kuti akudura tevet levy from salary ya employee. Yet it's supposed to come from their profit. And this is happening right here in Malawi, and many companies are doing that. But they're taking advantage of the ignorance of the workers. And again, we said they should recruit HR managers, OSHA officers, and finance officers, Malawians, not Yagunjayai. And again, allow employees to go to maternity leave and also paternity leave wherever necessary. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen and members of the press, I'm pleased to inform the nation that some of the employers have already remedied the issues, like Agobo, Top Max Malata. All the workers there have now been put on permanent basis. They have signed contracts, we have checked them, and they are now on pension. And their wages actually have doubled from 2,000 per day to 4,000 per day. These are the results we are seeing with our labor inspections, and this is happening in many places. And other companies have offered new contracts for their workers, apart from making provision for protective clothing, amongst other things that we ask them to improve. Others have gone beyond. They've gone beyond what we asked them. You remember, we are impressed. Where was that? You remember, Jabusa? NT Plastics, and I guess Thomas Malata. They have done beyond what we asked them to do. We're like, wow, this is what we need. This is what we need, going beyond the minimum set standards. And those companies who have reopened operations, they are now fully operational, and all the workers have been called back to work. But during the suspension period, they were getting their what? Their wages. Nobody. And even is it NT Plastics? They have said they will pay them gratuity for the past 6 years. You understand? The past 6 years, on Semeka Banchito, apasa gratuity panopa kambano jani no permanent job na mafuna gratuity au jaiba ngakomiti ikale part of yani their pension, you know. This is what we're seeing at the results of the labor inspections we are seeing. Now, others are complying, but others are still arrogant. Now, the thing is, we are doing these operations just upon the as an awareness. We expect some employers to start changing on their own, complying on their own, but they are not. They're becoming more and more arrogant, waiting for us to go there. Malawians or investors and employers, just do the right thing. You are educated, you have got money, you are enlightened. Just do what is right. Let whatever we have done before be a learning curve for some of you. My ministry will continue to closely monitor all workplaces to ensure full compliance with the labor laws. And because of what we have noticed, this year's Labor Day will be commemorated differently from all the Labor Days. The 1st of May will mark the launch of observing May as a month for the campaign to promote employers and employees' rights. So the month of May will be Workers' Rights Awareness Campaign Month, whereby us, ECAM, as well as MCTU, will have activities across the country in every district so that and to add to Adziwe Malamuro their rights so that they are able to know where to report, and again they should be able to say no to some of the things that they're being subjected to. So the whole month will be an awareness campaign, and in this year's budget we have put provisions for that campaign. Could the whole month of May we are doing awareness. This has been necessitated because of what we have seen on the ground, that antambisa kudziwa maufulu ao akungoponderezedwa. And again, my ministry will soon be finalizing the OSH policy, labor migration policy, and TVET policy, which seek better regulation of the issues in the labor market space. I know we are also reviewing labor laws to ensure relevancy and closing the gaps in order to protect the interests of both the employers and the workers. Because sometimes when you're fighting for the workers' rights, it does not mean that the workers should have guns now to come up with some employers. No. It's about dialogue and amicable resolution of disputes. I call upon the media and social partners to watch the development. My ministry, in close collaboration with MCTU and ECAM, in line with Convention 144 on tripartite consultation, which Malawi has ratified among many other conventions. The consultations are done through various structures, including the Tripartite Labor Advisory Council, which is the highest body that advises my office on all employment and labor matters. Again, let me tell you something. On the international scene, Malawi participation is on regional level and again international forum. We have elevated our visibility and influence of the country on policy and standards as Malawi. Malawi is a member of ILO and again we represent SADC as a titular member. On 14th February, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to congratulate the President of Malawi because Malawi was elected Vice Chairperson of the African Regional Labor Administration Center Governing Council. So Malawi at the moment is the Vice Chairperson. I did not go myself. I delegated my PS to represent Malawi, and she came back with the news from Zambia that we are the Vice Chairperson for the whole African Regional Labor Administration Center Governing Council. So the Malawi government, led by Dr. Chakwera, remains resolute in its mission to protect workers' rights and ensure that all employers uphold the high standards of health, safety, and working conditions. I urge all employers operating in Malawi to take necessary steps to adhere to labor standards and best practices to prevent labor law violations. I also would like to take this opportunity to appeal to all workers in the public and private sectors in the country to always cooperate with their employers to promote harmonious relationship in the workplace. Where differences exist, the cardinal rule is to resolve such through social dialogue. We'll continue doing our regular inspections, we'll not stop. Week by week, month by month, we'll get where we need to get. I would like to thank the press for the role you have played in the awareness campaign we have been doing. At the moment, our ministry is receiving a lot of requests to visit several working places, and we are overwhelmed because of late, every day you get 10, 15 requests. And the issues being highlighted are common. It's like, others, you close one company today, excuse me, you close one company, is part of the holdings company. So they've got 5 companies. Now you close one company of the 5. Kwinagu, instead of borrowing a leaf, they're the same owners, borrowing a leaf from this, they're still continuing violating labor laws. And this is correct. Now, there's one company which we closed before. They have asked for us to go and inspect and to open. We'll go and open, but the same day, we'll go to the sister company and close it again. Punzila. And the owners are what? The same. How can you have Mlonda which go India? And you know, how special that you know Mlonda still. Mlonda. Just to go grab gate bus. No. No. No, it's just too much. We can't tolerate that. You know? And instead of learning, the sister companies, I can know about they have employed special guards 3-4 kilometers away to check the Aleba Gubera Kapenai. That's correct. Sinduna Mayai. And when we went to Pompano, Tanzania, after they saw that we were getting there, they switched from working during the day to working in the night. Copa labor. So instead of working from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., they start at 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. Kudi aleba kugona sabwera. Ndipo tinakanga tizipa katipa, they resumed work on Monday. We went there and we are able to. So instead of doing what is right, they're trying to find the ways of what? Running away. Employers, just do what is right. Simple. PPE, safe conditions, pension, gratuity, pay them well. That's all. Nothing more than that. I don't know Gudi Zimavuda part. Away from that, as you may be aware, the mandate of my ministry also extends to issues of technical and vocational skill training. Allow me also to share with you some developments which are being undertaken to promote this mandate, and I want you to be attentive for that one. In order to increase access to skill attainment, my ministry has introduced double streams in the enrollment of apprentices in technical colleges and has extended national selection of apprentices to 14 community technical colleges. That is now have increased by 300%. The intake initially from 2,575 Panoba to 7,256 per year. So the intake in our technical colleges has tripled from 2,575 to 7,256 per year. Those are things we should be talking about, that the Chakra government is doing A, B, C, D in terms of training our youth. And further to this, through the help with World Bank, every technical college, there are 7 national technical colleges, each college has received 2.8 billion kwacha, while the 30 community colleges have received 500 million kwacha for capacity building in our technical colleges. Sudi alandilaya in dramas vipo gale, nani dagale for capacity building in our technical colleges. And again, in order to promote access to TVET by girls and vulnerable youths, kwambiri metaenda ku asikana mbili amapanga drop out after maybe 6 months, 1 year, amapanga drop out. Now, in order to support their access, my ministry with support from World Bank is also providing full bursaries. I mean full bursaries, kayandi pocket money, transport, school fees, whatever, full bursaries to 6,000 young ladies who are studying in various technical colleges. 6,000. So this is government and World Bank. We are training our youths because, especially girls, so they are capable and they are properly trained. My ministry also has increased the number of programs offered in technical colleges in line with the kind of developments, climate change and everything, and mostly in renewable energy and mining. We have got a mining college at Ngara. My first time to see diamond was at Ngara in Karonga Technical College. And they are able to do sorting. We saw our Reserve Bank, and to Mabanga sorting. We want to write Reserve Bank. Why can't you use our students at Ngara? Because they are trained to do that exercise and can be an IGA for the college. It's a community college, but after I visited it, I'm like, no. Let's try to upgrade it to a national college by putting boarding facilities. We found students from Musanje, from Chikwawa, from Gotakota. Yet this is a community college in Karonga, but it's meeting the needs of students across the country. So there is need to upgrade it to a proper national college so that it's purely doing mining, you know. So this is in an effort to reach out to the youth in line with the climate change and also the interest in renewable technology as well as mining. Also, we are introducing open distance learning and e-learning and mobile training to reach out to those who are geographically disadvantaged. All that is happening under TVET through our technical colleges. And again, in a bid to improve quality assurance, this is something that people don't say about our government. My ministry, under the guidance of Dr. Chakwera, has sent instructors for upgrading programs in the following programs: 20 for first degrees, 15 for master's degrees, and 1 for PhD, and 78 managers for short-term and even training through World Bank SAFE project and the EU Zanchito project. This is happening whereby our tutors are being trained and they are being offered Mumba. So all this is happening in our ministry, and we are reviewing our curriculums in our technical colleges to meet the current needs and the current happenings in the industry. And also pali naudi sanapita ku school and this skill job magaraja mjani lese ku malangalanga mu carpentry work or ma mechanic mu zolozolo mu mundira ndomu. We have got centers whereby we recognize prior learning could angabe certificate based on experience. We are doing that as the Minister of Labor, so that they can be able to negotiate fair wages. In our skills, younger, there's capacity in the Ministry of Labor through TVET and other instruments to assess the skills. I normally give an example. Little motor in jail, government alignment. Now 2008, that 2007. Now someone said, "I said weekend you can't go for wheel alignment Toyota." Nipanga bunch. I would pandira and if I no age, alignment. I went there with a spanner and do loose. You know, the guy in one way amasule abatani atana endende 30 minutes. Yes, anybana properly aligned skills that we have. So those people, we are recognizing them by giving them a certain certificate of recognition. Could wherever they work, they can get proper wages. And we are establishing soon a national technical teacher training college because the tutors need to be trained. So we will be getting land and we'll be establishing a teachers technical training college. And again, in line with the ATM strategy, agriculture, we want to establish an agriculture technical college. We can't be talking of agriculture when we don't have technicians. Most of them are degreed people from Rwanda. We need technicians. So as Minister of Labor, we have put in our budget this year that we start getting land, we start buying land and have an agriculture training college, maybe 500 hectares of land. Good, you know, that college is Ilima and add value and be able to export and even feed the nation. So it would be, this is happening in Saskatchewan, Canada, whereby with the college in the middle of 1,000 hectares of land and is owned by the college and they are able to like a mega farm on its own. So we are going that route as a Minister of Labor through TVET, and this will be happening. And this is budget. We have put some provision for buying land and starting that kind of process. And again, our ministry is establishing 4 centers of vocational excellence, focusing on the following priority areas: agriculture mechanization. This is happening at Longa Technical College; renewable energy, Mzuzu Technical College; marine transport, Kusalima Technical College, Dupanga Maboti at Salima Technical College. This is one of the centers of vocational excellence. And again, tourism at the Malawi Institute of Tourism. With the help of EU Zanchito project, my ministry has also started offering a design of small-scale mining course at Ingala Community College, Ndambagale Jaku Karonga. And again, going forward, we want to keep on developing the skills of the youth so that they are marketable and can contribute to the development of our country. In terms of establishment control, as we have said, we have always had the 45% vacancy rate in the ministry, but now, we have put some plans to reduce the vacancy rate considerably high. It should become functional at district level as well as at regional level, national level. And again, we have finalized the functional review process through several other departments. including migration services to facilitate labor export, Department of Formal and Informal TVET and Workers' Compensation Fund have been proposed. In line with the decentralization policy, my ministry has devolved human resource function to local councils to improve efficiency. Now, anthu amadaba nation yards analija kuti amumba speak in the eye kwanu kusikuli bwino kuli maleba chanchani. Sometimes media, when you put my picture there and my name, ask me for my input before you write something, than just to put an article that is attractive but that is the quarter-baked. The district labor officers, we are complaining about functional review and promotions. The human resource aspect of the district labor officers is no longer under my ministry since 2021. It was devolved to Ministry of Local Government. They were supposed to channel those complaints to DHRMD or local government, not Ministry of Labor. It's only operational matters that are under my ministry. The timing of their complaints and the manner in which it happened, I'll leave it for you to speculate why. But will not be deterred. We'll do what is right. To convert it, the story was quarter-baked, not half-baked. I wish Judge Singini did what is right by asking us for our opinion, than just going to the press without seeking my opinion on what is happening. So, this means that district labor officers are now a devolved function under district councils. And they know about this, as to why